Hello everyone, my name is Kate and you are welcome to this episode. Today we discuss the crossroads, career, family, to say 3 at 30, the choices that we make and how those choices shape our lives. We would like to call that the road not taken. That road symbolizes our lives, the path that we do not choose, rather the path that chooses us. And would like to know, while at a crossroad, what guides us? Who holds our hand and what road do we take? But for us, maybe on this episode, 2 roads diverged into the woods, and we took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Friends, we are just getting started, and you are welcome once again. Today I am excited because I'm not doing this alone. I'm being joined by a special guest. I would want to say they are a personal friend. I know most of you will not relate with them in that way, but they are special in one way or another, and they'll be joining us today. I would like to say that this person is a father and a husband. And then I will ask them to tell us more that we would like to know on this episode. Hello, most welcome to my podcast.
Thank you, Kathy.
How are you?
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, kindly introduce yourself to the viewers and let them know about that special you.
I'm Businge Henry, a land surveyor, a professional associate of the Institute of Surveyors of Uganda, a father, and a husband.
Be sure about that.
The husband will come after the wedding. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, we're also happy to host you. As I said today, we shall delve into how to strike a balance, okay? And how we are able to create time for our careers and for our families, most especially when that happens at an early stage in life. Because as I introduced, I said 3 at 30. You get to know why I'm saying 3 at 30. That was a bit an early age for him. So I would like you to tell us, what do you think about everything? Generally, just give us a sneak peek into.
We shall be talking about life and how everyone has their own destiny and how we follow our life choices and the impact of these choices on shaping up our lives and making us either better individuals or worse individuals. The challenges that we meet along the way and how we go through them, following your path in a particular way, having a dream and following that dream up to wherever it takes you. So basically that is what we shall be looking at on this episode.
Okay. I couldn't agree more with him, but I would like to take us back in time, Henry. At what point in your life do you remember being at a crossroad?
I think all of my life I've been on crossroads because as we grow, I'm a very sensitive person. I follow my stories. I listen a lot to people. So I take a lot of insights back into my life, what people used to tell me about what happened here, what happened there. And as you start growing, you also start now taking note of the things that are happening into your life and how you got them. Probably it's about the flashbacks, the things we did, and you didn't know how they are going to lead, you didn't know how they are going to end, but you made a decision here and there, and it probably worked out, or it failed. Like that gut feeling that something tells you do this. You listen to yourself and you be like, let me do this, let me do it this way, let me do it differently. And the results speak for themselves, whether you made the right decision or not.
Do you mind digging deep into those particular points in your life, or a memory that you still remember to this date that changed a lot for you on your path, or something you feel that if things had gone different, maybe you wouldn't be here? I feel there is just that one particular point in life that you cannot forget.
So much. I grew up in Entebbe. We grew up in Islamic area. I'll call it a slum area that are just coming up, a mixed neighborhood. So we had the best of life. We were just like the domestic animals and the wild animals. So we were a mixture of the two. You're wild, then you're domesticated. So we were in between that. But probably it's all about school. At a tender age, it's about school, the choices you make of the schools you attend, whether to stay in school or drop out of school, amidst all the challenges that we go through. So for me, my whole life and my decisions are basically ingrained in school. What I experienced in my school journey and how I was able to hold on, to cling on, and to be able not to be thrown out of the school system. So that's basically what my journey is all about.
Okay, why do you say being able to stay in school and not be thrown out? What do you imply, or what led you to that thought?
I had my primary at Lake Victoria School. Then after primary, I didn't know what is next. After PLE, I didn't know what is next. So here I was. I performed well, got 8 aggregates. They were good then. I don't know if they are still good now. So my parents were stuck in between, where do I go after school? So my mother grew up from Masaka, and then my father grew up from Chenjojo. So my father attended St. Leo's College, Chegove. Then my mother didn't go far in school. But having grown up in Masaka, she always admired people who went to Shak. She was like, St. Leo's College, Chitovu. She was like, she wished one of her children would go to that school. She was like, you know, they are smart, they are intelligent people. So when my results were back, it was a struggle. The dad wanted to go to St. Leo's College, Chegwe, because that's where he went, Slake. Then the mom wants you to go to Shak, St. Leo's College, Chitovu, because she has a liking for students from there. So I would hear them in the bedroom talking about where their son is going to go. So they gave me a vacancy at Slake. Then I think I also got at Katikamu SDA, if I'm not mistaken. Now Shak was there, because the cutoff points at Shak was 7, and I had gotten 8. So my dad had a connection. He was like, you know, we normally add in a few people in case there are some slots, so we have to wait. So they had to wait and see whether I'll be among those that will be added onto the list. And luckily enough, we got the call that, you know what, you've been given at Shak. And you know who was the happiest person on earth? That was my mom. Because her dream had come true.
True.
And that's how my journey there started. But you know, if the cutoff points are 7 and you have 8, you expect a lot of stiff competition in the school, because this is 4 to 7. So I was like, won't I be among the last people in class? So I was given a position there, and I was able to go through that period of life successfully. I wasn't among the best, I wasn't among the last.
Okay.
But I was always, should I say, in between?
Average.
Because you're competing with the best of the best. Sure. But I was able to keep up with the competition. And it was really an interesting experience at Shak, especially at my first time in boarding school. My mother is very happy. Like I said, we come from a mixed neighborhood, so people are like, who is this boy who is now at Shak? Who is this boy? So I was the talk of the hood. This is, when you went to Shak, people were like, you must be very rich. Because I remember that time we were paying around 200,000, that was the school fees, 200 something. And at that time it was a lot of money. So they were like, these guys must be rich. So everyone, whenever I'd go back to school, like everyone would be looking at me when I'm putting on that uniform. They're like, I think I'd gotten special status. This Shak boy, this Shak boy. So everyone was talking about me, Shark boy. So I was like, also taking it in. I'm like, yeah, it's special being at Shark. Eh? You know, putting on the maroon uniform, the sweater, the tie, and you're going to Masaka. And you know, this is central. Everyone is like, yeah. If you go to Shark, they know you're intelligent and you're rich. So I think now going to that school was putting us into that category of people.
Of the rich.
Yet, I don't think you are rich. I don't think.
But you are not poor. You remember the coat of many colors?
No, the hood where we're coming from, you're renting, and like, it's more like it was a bit ghetto-like. No, not this gated community. Everyone is earning small, and then for you rise up from those ashes to go to such a good school, and you're with people who come from very well-to-do families. So you were more like the outliers there. But of course, you have to blend in and be like, you know, I've made it. I've qualified for this place. Let me enjoy it. Let me fit in. So that was the beginning of my journey, my special journey in terms of education.
Okay, interesting. Now that we are at Shark and we are performing well, how did we continue to get to A-level surveying school? I don't want to miss anything. There are aspects of that journey I don't want to miss. I want to know how we transitioned from Shark to our A-level school, to surveying school, the one you always talk about on your status. Oh my God, sometimes I'm like, take a break, you know? So I would like to know what happened there.
So Shark Senior 1, lovely school, Brothers of Christian Instruction. I'm now getting into the new life, and like I said, taking it in that now this is a new life, but you have to come back to the ghetto during the holidays and be with your people. You be wild, young and free. So then life was starting to change. Now I'm with a different set of people. Senior 1, Senior 2, then Senior 3. Senior 3, that's where things were starting to change. So there's no longer money at home. I think Dad was having issues at his workplace. And I would see that there was no money at home. And I'm like, I think now things are starting to change. So senior 3 first term, I did complete it. So they sent me back home for fees. And I think that was the end of my journey at Shark. So I wasn't getting out of this school because I cannot handle the academic pressure. But now we could no longer afford the fees in this school, and I had to leave Shark. So I remember I went, they sent us back home for fees. I was like, hey, let me go bring the balance. I didn't know that that was the last time I was going to be in this school. And yet, senior 3, that's when you're starting to enjoy school. Because now you see special category, different dormitories, because senior 1 sleep with senior 2. Then senior 3 with senior 4. And they are treated differently. So I was like, now, I remember I was doing French. So I was like, yeah, now life is going to be good. So I drawn my plan, how am I going to survive in these 3 years academically? Trying to make up partnerships, who am I going to befriend? And then finances just cut that dream short. And in senior 3, I left Shark and started a new life.
You started a new life.
Yeah.
Was it a good new life or a bad new life? Or something you never thought would happen?
Something I never thought it would happen. But of course, I knew that going to Shark was a privilege. I wasn't coming from a rich family, but our parents had tried to raise us in such a way that we enjoy what is there. You do not admire what you don't have, but you enjoy what is there. So my mother was always protective of me, that much as we are living with these people, we have to, you're home by 7, you do work at home. She tried to manage us through the whole of primary so that we could perform very well. And now with Shark, of course, you're getting a new mindset. You're seeing different people from the ones that you've grown up seeing in the neighborhood. And then this whole dream is cut short. By the teachers just like me at Shark, I was starting to enjoy the school. Then, boom, we can't continue. So when I went back home, I realized that I've come for school fees, which is not there. Then I see the term is ending. Nothing is happening. But I left my things at school, and I'm like, I think now this dream has come to an end. So I had to go back at the end of the term and pick my items from school. I think I went there when the students weren't around, but I knew that now that this dream is coming to an end. I went, picked my stuff, went back home to wait for what is next. These guys didn't want to tell me the truth. They were still trying to see whether they can pull off here and there, and then life continues. First term is done. I did complete first term. Second term, nowhere to be seen. Then third term, that's when I realized that, what?
It was getting harder.
This is a new life. So I said, now this dream has ended. Let me look into this dream, and I see how it focuses. Because at the end of the day, for me, my major aim was, I don't want to drop out of school. So I accepted that things have changed. So these people weren't telling me that things have changed, but I could see, I think they didn't want to bring my spirit down, or they were afraid of what would happen. But of course you could tell. So now the guys at Shaka asking, Henry, where are you? Where is Henry? But then the communication was cut. So I was like, you know what? Let me accept that things have changed, and let me embrace the new situation as it is. Now we are back to the ghetto setting. We are back to the real hood. So I sat home for those 2 terms until there is a lady. She was a friend to my mom. She was our family friend. So she would ask, hey, how are the children? I hear things are not okay at your place. So my mom went and saw her, then told her, things are not okay. And she was like, but I know, let me see how I can help. There is a school here in the village where the boy can come so that he doesn't lose his senior 3 the whole year. So that's when this lady, so my mom comes and tells me, you know what, Henry, I've gotten for you a place where you can continue with education. I was like, wherever you take me, I'm okay with it. So she was shocked. She was like, said, wherever you take me with education, I'll go. Guess where the place is? Luero.
Oh, wow. From Shak to Luero.
To Luero. It was a startup school, a new school in the neighborhood. It's called Kakola High School. Now it's a big school. By that time, it was still new. So they were getting people from the village to come and study. Like they just pick you from where you were. Jango Some, come and study. Come and study. So they were old guys. People who don't want to study, but because you're starting a community school, that school was started by the current Minister of Education, that is Moyingo.
Oh.
I think for his community, was giving back to the community. And here I was, from Shak to Kakola High School.
Wait, Kakola, what do you mean Kakola?
That's the name of the village. That's the name of the village. So they just said Kakola High School because the village is called Kakola.
Oh, wow.
So I go to Ruero Bamnanika, this new woman that I'd never met. Then they're like, okay, Henry, this is your new life. You're going to be here and complete your education. Following day, I walk with the woman. She takes me to the school. The school doesn't have windows. The floor is still rammed earth. There are no doors. Like, wow, you're moving. Because I used to move for, I think, was it 30 minutes or 1 hour? That's from home to school. I was like, wow. Then I go, they introduce me, this is Henry, and they give me they enroll me as a student. School fees, 50,000. School fees was 50,000. The woman pays. I think by that time she was growing paper, this paper that makes tear gas, so she was exporting it. She paid the 50,000. I start school, from boarding school to now day school. I have to walk all that journey in a new environment that I don't know. Village, so from town to the village, with people that I don't know. I go, I'm like, okay, I'm glad they welcome me. And I was still putting on my Shak uniform.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You hadn't moved on.
So, when people saw me in my Shak uniform, they were like, hey, wait. So you're from Shak? I said, yes. But
how are you here?
How are you here? Of course, everyone had to know that story. How do you move from Shak
to
to come to this startup school? So I told them my story. I told them, I was at Shark. I didn't fail academically, but it was because of finances. And for me, I was willing to continue wherever I was. So one of the teachers there had gone to Usoga College Muiri. So he knew about Shark. He was like, I think this boy must be special. So he befriended me. And everyone who knew that I was from Shark knew that now I was a special kind of person.
Yeah.
So I come. Remember, I haven't studied for first term, second term. Now I'm coming in third term. Third term I'd already moved on. A whole lot of notes. So my parents were broke. So I had a few books. So now I have to copy all the notes. At Shark, we are doing history West Africa. Now these guys are doing South Africa. Hey. So I have to copy all the notes of South Africa. I was like, what? So now the Khoisan had to go. Was it the Khoisan? No, those guys in West Africa had to go out of my mind, come back to South Africa. Then, no French. And I liked French. So I was like, you guys, don't we have any French?
Oh, you wanted to be the
So
French teacher?
they just laughed at me. They're like, look at this guy. I was like, I liked French. Pooh. No French. So now, so that subject is cut off French. Now I'm doing CRE. CRE with what was the other optional subject?
Agriculture, you know those things.
These guys have agriculture. I don't remember that I don't recall them having agriculture. Because I ended up doing 9 subjects. So that's less French. What's the agriculture? I don't recall if
What
there was
about
agriculture.
Uganda?
Who does Luganda?
Oh,
I couldn't do Luganda. Because, French is special. There is
Yeah.
a way you would feel when you're studying French and speaking French. So I was like, now I'm losing my French. So I come up in this new environment. I'm like, you know what? For me, but I was a free person. My parents couldn't believe that I was a free person. Me, I would change with whatever environment that came up. I was like, no, this is the new environment I'm in. Let me focus. So everyone wanted to know, who is this Shark guy? I was putting on my Shark uniform every day, tucking in with a tie. Very smart. Then I walked through the villages up to this Kakola. So I was moving from what's the name of the village? I forgot the name of the village. Sekamuli, up to Kakola. Every single day without fail. So I found I'd missed some topics. I was like, now you know what? Let me embrace this new life. I copied all the notes. Now South Africa, I'd missed a few topics in math. I remember senior 3. One incident which I remember is, it was an English lesson. So this gentleman comes in, the teacher says, you know what? You're going to write a story in the class. The story was about a football match. I don't recall that essay writing. Then they give you the heading or the ending, and then for you to develop a story.
right.
So the guy gives us an assignment. I think it was an exam. I write a story. I was supporting Arsenal. I used to watch those matches. So I write a very beautiful story about commentary. Now this is commentary. Hey, master goal poacher, Thierry Henry. So I put all those things into writing. I handed. So I think when the guy was marking, I told you they picked these people from wherever they want to come and start this school. So I think he saw something different this time.
Out.
So I was like, who is this? I was the only one who had a good story. Because, I used to watch those matches and follow the commentary. So the guy is like, who is this? Looks for me. I want to see this guy. But remember, I didn't know how they write stories. Okay, I knew I could write stories, but I didn't know that you need to put a heading, you need to do this. Now I just started flowing. So I performed very well. And I remember his comment. It always rings in my mind. I was the best in the class. I was the best in English. But you know what the comment the guy put?
No.
No room for complacency.
Oh, please. What was the complacency?
I was like, what?
Oh my God.
So I had to look for the meaning of that word complacency. I was like, no, this guy.
Okay,
I'm the best in this class. I've also just written something out of the blue, and the guy is saying no room for complacency. Oh, where is the complacency
Okay,
coming from?
I want to reason with him that he was encouraging him because he saw potential, but excuse me, give me some credit.
Yes. After all these years, someone who can write good English, who can speak good English, so I'm like, no room for complacency. Then along the way he comes, he says, you know, so I started now filling in with this new environment, these new students. Man, they don't know English, they don't know math, they don't know biology, they know nothing. So me, I come with my mathematics, they're like, is this guy a witch? Or is he a wizard? How would you do all these things? So the math teacher also realized that there is a new person in class. So I remember when he was teaching, he would look at me, when I do like this, he just continues.
Oh, God.
Every time he taught, and now there were early lessons. But before I go to that, I performed very well. I'm the best in class. I take back my report. I'm
that
the
was
best.
senior 3?
That was senior 3, third term. I'm the best in class. So this lady was like, she was just helping me to not to lose that year. She wasn't taking me on.
Oh.
So weekends you have to dig. Man, I've never dug. What is digging? Eh? Then you have to go and fetch water from the borehole. Man, I used to fetch water from the tap, just there. All okay. I used to sometimes would fetch from the well. These wells which are well built. So I was like, now you have to go and pump that water, and it's one borehole for the village. So you have to go very early in the morning and be in the line.
Yeah.
So you have to wake up at around 6 and fetch that water, so that you can be in time for class. Then Saturdays you have to dig. I was like, now me I start to dig. So I find this thing which has thorns. What is it called in Luganda? I don't know the English name. What is it called in Luganda? I've forgotten the name. But it's some food. Balugu. It's called balugu.
Oh, God.
It grows underground, but on top it has thorns. Man, I'm digging, I see the thorns, I'm like, what are these thorns doing in the village? Poof! I cut them. Oh, tell me, you've cut food. I'm like, but I don't know how to dig, but I'm just trying to also fit in. So I prefer doing duties at home, the housework, wash the utensils, clean, mop, clean the compound, but then I'm a man. So they expect my energy the other side. So they wouldn't appreciate the work I did this side. They say, oh, you know, this is where the money comes from. So I would try, but I was cutting a lot of food. So I find food that I don't know me, I cut. Now that balugu grows, I don't know, for a very, very long time. It grows underground. They just be picking bits of the food. Now I've cut it. I've cut their food. Now that is the food that they eat in the dry season when there is no food. They normally eat it with nuts. So when there is no food in that dry season, that's the food that they eat. So that's when they eat, are they called amaranthus, dodo, and the peanuts, and probably, and lumonde. That's when things are bad, and cassava, when things are bad. So I've cut their food. I'm like, I don't think I can handle digging. But now they want me to dig. I have to read in the night. Now moving away from the lights, electricity, I'm now at the Tadowa. Tadowa needs a paraffin. So I would sneeze in the morning, and I have that black, what is it called? The soot. Soot is just coming out. Because I had to read in the night. I'm like, what? This is a new environment. But I was the best in class. So when I'm the best in class, I bring it back. Then I'm like, the woman's like, okay, you can go back to your home for your holidays. And I go back home. I'm not going back home. The situation is the same. No money. So I was there. They're trying to look for money. How much? 50,000. That was the fees. These guys can't get 50,000. I'm like, what? 50,000 was the pocket money I used to use at Shark for the whole term. Because they'll give me 20,000. Then they send back another 20 in between, and maybe like a 10 so that you can survive. Of course, there are guys who would have 500, 200, but for us, that is what I would use. Now here, I can't afford it as school fees in this school. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I sit home, senior first term. It's moving. Week 1, you know how the days move. Week 1, week 2. week 3.
And you're
I'm
home.
like, I'm home. I was a humble, I don't know where the humility came from, but I was very humble. Then the other guys at school are asking, where is this guy? Where is this guy? So they are asking one of the daughters of the lady, where is Henry? Yeah, Henry is at his home. What is the problem? Week 3, week 4. Like, where is Henry? What Henry? So the other gentleman who was at, I think it was at Usoga College Mweri, if I'm not mistaken. Which was the other school in Ginger? Mweri and what?
I think it's that.
The boys' school.
Must
I think
be
it was in
Soga College.
No, it's Mweri. So, where is Henry? Henry is at home. Where is his home? In Teve. Okay? They told the girl, we want Henry here, go and bring Henry.
Oh, what?
So I was there home chilling, the girl comes. Munange, but ngambye, masina Henry sida kusomero. Now they have to give me transport to go. They even don't have transport.
Oh my God.
But like, the guys had fallen off so bad. So they had to borrow, they give me transport, then I go. Then I go back, I start now senior 4 when the term has moved on. Everyone is happy Henry is back. So we start day, like now that this year the math teacher would come in, because we had to come very early for the lessons. The math teacher would come in very early. He would start at around 6. Now me, I couldn't make it at 6. The most I could do was 7:30. That's if I've tried my level best. Maybe I session at home the other side and walking. So I would find them midway a topic, and I sit. Of course, when I sit, the teacher is happy. Looks at me when he's teaching, and I, have you understood? Class, have you understood? Kumbe is looking at me. And so I realize it now, I think there is a problem. Have you understood? And I say, the guy just continues. So he was, I think, teaching translations, but I was sharp. But if I found them midway, I would easily catch up. So once he does a number and I say an example, I'm like, yeah. So he gives a question. Everyone is wrong, Henry is right. Like, nah. So the guys were there from 6. Now me, I came at 7:30. So I was like, Yet he can't adjust the timetable just for me, one person. And everyone is failing. Then he says, let me look at this one who has just come. Man, my thing is right. And it's not that I had said it at Shark. No, it was a new topic, but...
I think your mind had...
Yeah, my mind had switched. That, you know what? Now this is hard work everywhere. So the mind was working at a very hard speed. So we go on. So the other woman is also struggling to pay fees for her children. Because she was looking after, she had 2 kids. She had 4 kids. Then me, Henry, who is not the child, I think she was no longer willing to pay fees for me. So they would come. They're chasing people for fees. Strict instruction from the HM. 0 balance. So the guy comes and sends me back for fees.
Oh, God.
I sit in the class. Don't think I'm going anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm going to dig. But other people are excited. They're happy to go back. To show you how unique the other school was, Friday was market day. You never find any students in class.
Come to school.
Guys would be going to the market, either sell or do window shopping. That's how special our school was. So every Friday, half of the class is in the morning. After lunch, another half has left. Then as we stay. During the mango season, because now they grow mangoes. Guys are going to make money. There are no students in class because now mangoes are selling like hot paper.
Oh my God.
So I'll be there. So this guy comes, just asks for school, said HM, order from above, 0 balance, go home. Said Henry, go home, even you. I think he didn't know that now me, I'll become a special case. Said, no, I'm not going. I didn't tell him I'm not going, but I just didn't go. Just sat in class, went and sat behind. So he would go, because some students would pretend like as they're going back, then they come. He would come back again. Said, go home. I went and sat in the class. So this guy was harassing me to go. I refused to go. Then the HM told him, leave Henry. He's an exception. So remember now, you need books. You need everything. Of course, all teachers were enjoying me in their class. They'd be like, when they are marking, I think they would first look for my paper. First mark and then go on the other boring students. So guys would come to me, help me with some math. Man, you're pumping math in the guy. and the guy has
You
no
see,
math.
it's not getting at all.
Zero. So as you're doing the equation, you reach somewhere and the guy, now why have you crossed here? I'm like, now how do I explain to this person? The guy stares at you and he's like, man, let us leave these things. Man, I can't handle. So you try to help them, math, English, everything.
All subjects.
Physics. Now we had a lab. You see, the lab was there. Then you do some practicals. Guys don't know anything. Chemistry.
Nothing.
Struggle. The guy tries to teach, but nothing. So I was then first term ends. Now that's when registration comes in. You have to register. I do not have any money. The other ladies also unwilling to also keep doing what? Because she's like, your parents are there.
Yes.
I was just helping
And
you.
also, you are being smarter than the children.
So we need to register. She pays for her son, then me, I'm there. I'm not registered, wandering about, but I'm attending classes, I'm going nowhere. So they're like, people haven't registered, please talk to your parents so that we can complete this. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to anyone because I know there is no money. Then, as I was moving there, the HM comes. Henry, why haven't you registered? Like, now what do I tell this guy? I've not paid fees. Then you ask me, I've not registered. Go and register very fast. Go and register.
Where is the money?
I can't register. So since now these guys are allowing me to register, I was like, no, I think it seems I'll become their project. Because at least they are sure someone's going to perform very well for them. So it will help the school also.
Yeah.
I think it came into my mind. I said, you know what? I have to tie myself on these people. So after registration, I tell the HM, but by the way, I have a problem. What is the problem, Henry? I need to have lunch. Henry, go and have lunch.
Wait, what? Just like that?
Yes, go and have lunch, Henry. I'm like, So they give me lunch. Now remember, the other son is also in senior 4, so he sees me having lunch. I don't know where the guy had a bad from. You haven't paid, why are you having lunch? I said, man, HM. So he told the guy not to give me lunch.
What?
So I was like, I want HM, go and talk to the cook to allow me to have lunch because I think they had lunch
Meal
cards
cards
with me I didn't
and
have.
all that. Yeah.
Onomuleke, after lunch. As lunch is sorted. Remember, they are having early lessons and then other lessons in the night. But the journey is too long for me to make it early and to leave late. So I told the HM, you know what? Now there is a problem. I think I need to come in boarding. So now there is also a primary what? A primary section. There was a primary school there as well. Now, the dorms were being shared by the primary and then the secondary what? Secondary school. So HM tells me, you want to come in boarding? You come.
Oh, God. Everything for
like,
you has just
everything
come.
like for me was just flowing. I was like, okay. So I had to go back and tell the other people at home that now, you know what?
I'm going
They have
for
allowed
boarding.
me to come for boarding. This one, the child has to pay for boarding. Yeah, I'm not paying. So I go and carry my things, come to boarding. All the beds are taken. I put my bed on the floor, say to me what I want is to sleep and be able to attend classes in time and everything. So I put my bed on the floor. So now the other English teacher comes, he wants to tease me, kicking the floor. Where is Henry? Where is Henry? Hey, Henry is here. Okay? Then the HM comes. Like, no, you can't sleep on the floor. You can't sleep on the floor, Henry. Yet we have this primary. Actually, before coming to boarding, I told this guy that, you know what? Let me sleep with you here. We share a bed when we have these lessons so that I can also be attending. Man, the guy refused. And I'd stayed in the night that day. I was like, let me share with this guy. The guy refused, man. He said, no, me, I want to have good sleep.
Oh, God.
So I was like, So I was either going to spend that night when I'm seated, or I think about other options. And it was like a boy who was in primary, I think, religion. I was like, but God says we share.
Oh, wow.
The guys were making fun at me in the night. Hey, Henry, okay, that's what I want to go today. I think then this cowboy band had mass on me. He said, you know what, Henry, you come and we share.
A primary
A
kid.
primary kid.
Wow.
These other guys in secondary, they weren't. Much as they come to me for consultation, they weren't willing to share a bed with
giving
me.
you.
So now this guy said, you know what, you come and we sleep together. I was like, what? But I stepped to that cowboy. That's when I went and told the HM, you know what, I think I should come in boarding section. I said, you come. So I brought my bed and put it down. Said, no, you can't put the bed down, Henry. We have these primary boys. Get one off the bed and you sleep there. So I also had to get this one who was laughing at me the other night. Said, man, wow.
You are growing wings now.
I slept there. No money, no nothing. So I was surviving in boarding. So I was enjoying everything. Things are moving on very well. I'm registered, but now I didn't have books. Because remember, the notes were too much, and also they were pumping us with too much books. The books are done. Do I tell the woman, the other lady? Or do I tell my parents? Do I tell anyone? So I was stuck. So I would get probably which subject is having less notes. The other subject was commerce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because now, at Shak I wasn't doing commerce. But now here I have to do commerce because I was doing Greek, CRE, and French. So you had to do commerce. Copy all those notes, I think, from senior 1 up to senior 3 and start from there. So the commerce teacher would come and teach. Looks at me so he was teaching about why, much as we have that topic of small businesses and big businesses, he was like, and then he was explaining it wasn't coming out very well. So I wasn't convinced. Look at him. Look at me. I think you will realize that there is a problem. Why do small businesses exist much as we have the big ones? Now for him, the way he was explaining it was like, much as we have Hotel Lavena here, there's going to be another restaurant near Lavena. Yet that wasn't the case. It was, why do we, much as we have the big, also the small one still exists. For him, he was explaining in such a way that the small one is near the big one. So I was like, hasn't convinced. He looked at me. I think he realized it. He was struggling to really explain the topic. But I think he wasn't the teacher. He was just trying to survive. So he looked at me. I think that guy, he didn't like me for that. Like me, I would get my notes, explain things in my way, and go on. So he went on. So I don't have books. Books are done. So what do I do? Now I start. Now, which teacher doesn't collect books? English teacher collects books. So you get, maybe if history still has space in it, I bring notes of commerce and put them in the middle of history like that, so that I can maximize the space. That was also done.
Oh my
so I'm
God.
stuck.
Wouldn't you call home at one point?
Home, there was no money. There was no money at home. I don't know why they didn't have money, but they didn't have money. So I go to this guy of Mwiri. I tell him, man, I don't have books. As if it was my father, I told him, I don't have books. Even the shoe, I didn't have kiwi. Because now the other guys aren't willing to share with me. I told him, look at my shoe, I don't have kiwi. The guy looked at me, I was like, now what do I do? I'm not your father. Yeah? Because I think he was a brother to Muyingo. So he was a stakeholder in the school.
Managing the
yeah.
school.
Much as there was the HM, was also a stakeholder. So he looked at me, I was like, okay, when I go to Obulenzi, I'll buy you some books and kiwi. So I don't know when he will go.
You have to wait.
I have to wait until he goes. I think then some week he goes, brings me some books and kiwi. I'm like, okay, I can survive now.
Somehow everyone had held your hand.
Yeah.
At
The
the
guy is like,
beginning.
I think I was a likable person because me, first of all, I didn't hate anyone. These guys, much as I felt like I was better than them, I wasn't demeaning. So I would go with them to their garden. Someone tells me, I'm growing sugar canes. They bring you sugar canes. They bring you mangoes. Like, you would walk the village with them. Eh? But for me, mine was school. I wouldn't leave school to go to the market like they do. No. So then we go through it. We go to senior. We go to second term, third term. Now, third term, exams, UCE. We have to sit from another village because they had no center.
True.
Hey. The other village, the school hates this one.
Oh my God.
I think it's called Mulaje. Oh, Mulaje Secondary School because that's what appears on my past slip. Now, Mulaje, it has a lot of students. Now, for us, you have to sleep on the floor, around the earth. So you put your mattresses there and sleep there. I was like, it's okay, as long as
You're reading and
everything
you're
is moving on
studying.
very well. So I went, did my exams, and guess what? I passed 25 aggregates. I was the best in the school and
The whole village. Eh?
the whole village, yeah. I was the best. I got 25. Now there was a scholarship scheme that if you get a first grade, Muyingo automatically takes you on. But it was for people who are from the village, not us who
Not
are coming
you
from
are-
elsewhere.
Oh my God.
So I get my 25. Everyone is excited. First
Why
grade in
not?
the school, history of the school. There were other students who had come. They're performing very well. They're also performing well. But they didn't get a first grade. I don't know why they didn't get a first grade. So I was the only one who got a first grade. Did 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 in math, 3 in physics, 3 in, it was really 3 in geography, 25. Like, what? But to show you that people really liked me, there was a guy who was on this board of the primary school. The guy brought me books. He said, there is a guy here. I didn't know the guy. I'd never met him. The guy just got books and brought them to me. Said, Henry, get these books and read.
Wow.
I was like, you see, it was really humbling.
Exactly.
That these are people in the villages. I didn't know the guy. I just met him after when I had completed. I was like, but who is this guy who did this for me? So he said, I have some books here which I think are going to be useful to you. I was like, hey, it's okay. He got me the books, those textbooks. I was like, the world was just amazing. Then I go. He said, hey, what do you know, Kuma? There's a way they were going to call it, Omuzigo, something like that. Omuzigo. I was like, wow, the whole thing was humbling. So I went and passed. That's UCE. I'm done. I get a first grade. Of course, everyone else was in second and third and ungraded. Life has to continue in UCE. My dad gets a job in A-level. My dad gets a job. I'm like, oh,
Thank God.
thank God. Life is going to be good. A-level. So we go through the holidays. I performed very well. I'd put Rubiri High School as my first choice. They gave me straight away. PEM end. That's what I wanted. PEM end. Henry, I went to Rubiri and checked when the results were back. My name was there. I said, village life has ended. Someone is going to be happy. We go with my dad. My dad had gotten his NSSF money then. So we go. My mom tells me, okay, now you're going to go to Rubiri. You'll be staying at your uncle's place. I go. I find my name there. I'm very happy. Of course, I performed better than some students at Shark. Very many of them, I performed better than them. I was very proud of myself. I was like, wow. If I stayed at Shark, maybe I would have even gotten 8 in 8.
True.
So,
But
but I
we
was
can
happy.
never know.
But I was happy with my performance. Very, very happy. So they give me a trophy. I'm like, now I'm coming back to town life. So we go. Time for going to school reaches. My dad says, hey, let's go and check out Rubiri. I go. He pays for the uniform. Then school fees, get the receipts, bank slips. They give us also their, I remember they gave us their calendar for the school. I'm like, wow, I think now life is going to be good. But as we are going back home, he goes, I remember I was banking with Orient Bank. Orient Bank, opposite Nando's, Kampala Road. He goes to withdraw money. I stay out. I withdraw some money. Then looks at his receipt. Then he tells me, man, I'm remaining with 10,000 on the account. 10, 100. I think 10. Why it was 10? Why 100? One of the two. Gets the receipt, puts it in the nani. And I remember, I knew how trouble starts. So my mind switched, like now this is a dead end.
Things are going to
Things are
go
going
different
back. Things
from
are going
what you
back to where
thought.
they were. So I get angry. Then he goes, he had a friend on Nasa Road. He goes and visits the friend. Meanwhile, me, I'm angry. They talk. Hey, the boy has been given at Rubiri, Ichi. Everybody say, balance is 10,000. Oh. Then he goes, I go back home. I reach and tell my mom. I heard that saying, The account balance is 10,000.
You hadn't paid fees at the time?
I only paid for the uniform.
Oh dear.
My mom says, are you sure? I say, that's what I had. She thought I was joking. Guy comes back. Doesn't say anything. Week 1, week 2, doesn't say anything. Week 3, doesn't say anything. Week 4, umwana agenda kusomero. Sina sente. She thinks that the guy is joking. Hey! First term, second term, third term. I'm home. Whole year, I'm home. Felt bad. Then, so that's supposed to be senior 5.
Yes.
What's supposed to be senior 6, he gets a job in Ginger. So he's like, okay, I got a job in Ginger. Now they're having a lot of debts. Stupid me. He wants to take me to Ginger SS. I'm like, but I heard you guys have a lot of debts. Why don't you first clear these debts?
And
Then we start afresh. Then I can go back maybe next year. I think that's the worst mistake I ever made in my life.